Colin, for giving me an opportunity to be here. A lot of points have already been addressed. So what I'm going to do is to talk about the greyness, not in the law but also in the practice. I'll try and talk in Hindi, but by your pardon, it's atrocious. मैं कोशिश करती हूँ. Okay. मैं एक यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ाती हूँ, so a lot of my experiences would come from what happens within the university. क्योंकि जब विशाखा बना था और फिर जो लॉ है, अगर आप लॉ को पढ़ें, so it will look like it's made for an office जहाँ पे employers, employee, class force, बहुत सारे hierarchies हैं, and law तो general है, but if you're looking at the law, it looks as if it is made for an office. And when you sort of transplant it to an educational institution का setup, जो आप education institutions में लेके जाते हैं, तो जो relationships है वो काफी बदल जाते हैं. और उसमें सबसे ज़्यादा है कि हमारे वहाँ hierarchies, power equations is not between the employer and the employee जो है, but a lot of power equations that exist are between teachers and students, right? So जो power zones है, क्योंकि sexual harassment at workplace is basically a question of power. Power सिर्फ औरत पुरुष की power नहीं, it's also a power of what position you occupy. जो डोमा जी बता रही थी, like the peon will think, oh my god, how can I speak against the management? यहाँ पे जो हायरार्कीज हमने देखे हैं वो है, एक तो है अगर वो कोई टीचर हैरास करे स्टूडेंट का बोलने का कोई गुंजाइश नहीं होती. सेकंड इज इफ इट्स एन एम्प्लॉय थिंग. ऑल्सो सबसे कॉम्प्लिकेटेड शायद ये है जब वो स्टूडेंट हैरासमेंट होता है. And that's the grey zone that I'll talk about. And it's not so clear as several other things in the law. The things like quid pro quo, आप मेरे साथ कॉफी पीने चलो, मेरे साथ फिल्म देखने चलो, बदले में हम आपको एक प्रमोशन देंगे, kind of things don't happen when it's a student-student relationship. It becomes fairly complicated. And the third party harassment is a huge grey area in the law that exists today. Third party harassment हमारे लिए is basically when students go on internship. इंटर्नशिप मतलब वो समर वेकेशन में हमारे स्टूडेंट्स कहीं पे जाकर इंटर्नशिप करते हैं किसी के साथ, जो कि वो जजेस हो सकते हैं, लॉ ऑफिसर्स हो सकते हैं, एनजीओस हो सकते हैं, एंड द यूनिवर्सिटी सेंड्स दीज स्टूडेंट्स ऑन दैट 2 month vacation. It's a part of the curriculum. Now when she is harassed by a senior there, who is responsible? The university is, but what is the modus operandi? How do you work on it? How do you tell as a teacher or the university vice chancellor tells a Supreme Court judge that what you're doing is wrong, or I'm initiating proceedings against you? It becomes a terribly complicated grey zones in which we are trying to find out answers. We haven't found any. Okay, so I'm just skipping all this because I believe all this has been done. Interesting, I'll just go over to what the debates are. What has happened with the 2012 law? ये विशाखा से शुरू हुआ and then it started, and when वो जो नया law अभी 2012 में जो आया 30, it has expanded the definition of workplace, and that's a huge thing, and everything comes under the definition of workplace, including, very importantly, I think, hospitals, nursing homes, sports, unorganized sector, and dwelling place. We are not going to talk so much about the dwelling place because that again is a whole huge problematic zone. कि home के अंदर domestic health का जो harassment होता है वो आप कैसे करोगे? वहाँ पर the employer-employee relationship सबसे hierarchized है between me and my domestic health. वो क्या बोलेंगे हमारे शौहर के बारे में? So that it's a very broad definition of the workplace. I'm also skipping this, that what you mean by sexual harassment. शायद ये additions हैं. एक है preferential treatment, which was under the Vishakha known as quid pro quo. क्या आप मेरे लिए ये करो, बदले में हम आपको ये promotions देंगे. So that's preferential treatment या detrimental treatment. आप नहीं करोगे तो this is what's going to happen to you about the future. Okay? Intimidating and hostile work environment create करना. Okay? Again, I think we are not talking about the internal complaints committee. We know local complaints committee, etc., term of office, etc., etc. this is being done, but certain things are there which is there within the given law, and I think that are important. One is written complaint has to be there, reconciliation at the request of aggrieved woman. Agar the law starts with saying, agar the lady wants a reconciliation, वो complaints committee तक जाना नहीं चाहती है. So when she comes to the complaints committee tells her very clearly that the law allows you to look for reconciliation. Are you ready for it? अब कैसे ये बोलोगे? We had a case, and then she was angry with the complaints committee for even making that point. She said, इसका मतलब है complaint committee already biased. We were telling from the complaint committee is not biased. We are telling you that the law gives you that provision. And she was saying that I already know the law. And we were saying that आप ये law university में हो, इसलिए शायद आप law को जानते हो. But a lot of other women will not know the law. So when you are placing this request, when you are placing this suggestion to the aggrieved woman, be a little careful that it does not rub her on the wrong side, because she does get angry. Okay, etc. Misconduct, deduct salary, punishment. Okay, there is a punishment for false and malicious complaint. There is a punishment, right? But I think the last but one provision is very important. In many sexual harassment cases, it is not possible for the victim to prove that harassment has happened. Because sexual harassment तो खुलेआम जनता के बीच नहीं होगा. But she cannot prove her case. But that is not false complaint. There is a distinction between false complaint and the inability to prove the complaint. False complaint has to be proved that this was completely malicious. Falsely accused the teacher because the teacher gave her, I'll talk about these, the teacher refused to give her an extension, kind of thing. That is different from saying that I could not prove the harassment. And if there is, she could not prove the harassment, would not mean that there will be a false complaint charges filed against her. I think there is a grey zone here, and a lot of women don't understand कि अगर आप proof नहीं कर सकते हो, वो सोचते हैं कि automatically शायद ये false complaint आ जाएगा. That's not the case. I was unable to prove my case, so that's one thing. When this law came, there were certain debates that had arisen, and we have fallen back. One major debate was, would sexual harassment at workplace be gender neutral? There was a debate. It was also a debate under the Criminal Law Amendment Act. Gender neutral मतलब दो तरीके की gender neutrality के बारे में बातचीत हुई, which is the same as Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013, which is perpetrator male रखें, survivor को आप women भी रखें, transgender persons भी रखें. That's one. The other kind of gender neutrality is something problematic and was not accepted by the Judicial in India, which is a perpetrator or survivor दोनों को ही male, female, transgender, all persons रखें. So there was this idea that you call persons. Then there was this huge debate that in the context of India, working women in paid employment भी तो बहुत कम है. Organized sector में और भी कम. Unorganized sectors में laws तो काम ही नहीं करते. So basically you're talking about organized sector and a very small percentage of women. और उसके बीच आप सोच रहे हैं कि ऐसे women हैं who are in a position of power, मतलब women chief, women CEO, women boss of institution, और जो survivor है वो है male. How many cases? We are not saying it might not happen, but how many cases? It's so rare and in between इतना कम है कि अगर आप उसी हिसाब से लॉ बनाना चाहते हैं तो वो प्रॉब्लमैटिक है. So what happened is that the law went back to where Vishakha was, where we are looking at the male, the respondent is the man, the aggrieved person is a woman. So we have stuck to that line, but that came. Okay. Problems that we encountered at the university level. One was क्योंकि हम बिल्कुल फर्स्ट ईयर के स्टूडेंट से डील करते हैं, राइट? What happens? और हमारे जो नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं तो सारे इंडिया से बहुत सारे किस्म के बच्चे आते हैं, and they come with very different codes of conduct. So what happens is they don't know the law, right? They don't even know that this could tantamount to sexual harassment. Or as you were saying, there is very little discussion on gender issues in a university setup, in all setups, really. So what are appropriate gender roles वो students कभी-कभी समझ ही नहीं पाते. To the point that we had to tell the student that what you're doing is stalking under Criminal Amendment Act. Huh? Now the student comes with this notion कभी-कभी, you know, वो हिंदी सिनेमा देख के आए हैं. So हिंदी सिनेमा में तो, you know, stalking is a part of what? Courtship. You know, I keep on talking about these films, and I think popular culture is very, very important because I have been in sociology. आप हिंदी सिनेमा देखोगे, I just keep on giving this example. आप देवानंद के जमाने से शुरू करो, साइकिल लेके बाजू-बाजू में चलता है टाइम्स, और फिर if you come to a very current cinema, I'm saying this in all seriousness, फटा पोस्टर निकला हीरो करके सिनेमा आता है, उसमें गाना था, मैं तेरे अगल बगल हूँ, तू मेरे अगल बगल में टाइप्स. You know, so what this man is doing there is basically stalking the woman. So what is the woman doing? नहीं, मैं तुम्हारे साथ नहीं जाने वाली, मैं तुम्हारे साथ नहीं जाने वाली. And the man is going around her and saying, नहीं, तुम कुछ बोल नहीं पाओगे, मैं तुम्हारे अगल बगल में घूमता ही रहूंगा. That's the crux of the song, right? And then she relents. So you grow up in that atmosphere for a very long time. And films have enormous impact on all of us. Leave alone 17 years, right? So they come with that notion कि ये तो बहुत heroic है ना? अब फूल लेके क्लासरूम के बाहर घूमोगे, it's very heroic. For us, it becomes an enormous matter because we have to say, stop it. This is stalking. You can't do it, right? And then he makes this courtship. It happened to one of our students, and then it took on a caste issue because this boy happened to come from a lower caste. The woman belonged to urban upper middle class, and she did not like the overtures. उसको पसंद नहीं था वो लड़का. तो लड़का बेचारा फूल देता ही गया. मैं तुम्हें प्यार करता हूँ, चिट्ठी देता ही गया. She wanted to file a sexual harassment. Now we have to sit and explain, and then it immediately turned up. मतलब वो sexual harassment नहीं रहता. It becomes other issue. So it became a caste issue. You know, because the boy is from a low caste, because he comes from rural hinterland, and this girl is, you know, middle class, upper caste woman. So it became a caste issue, and then we again have to strip it off and say, नहीं, इससे caste की कोई, you know, caste class की बात नहीं है. So it becomes a bit complicated issue. So what are appropriate interpersonal roles, gender roles in an institution happens. It becomes also more complicated when it's brought against colleagues and students. What is the line of control? आप इस हद तक जाओगे, इससे ज़्यादा आप नहीं जाओगे. This and no further. How do you teach it to a student, to a colleague? After this act and after certain cases that came up in our campus, I had to hear, and my relationship with my colleagues is pretty cordial, right? I had to hear, oh, you know, you're wearing a nice salwar kameez. Should I say it, Ruchika? Ab pata nahi, you know, how you're going to react to it. You know, you're looking very nice today. Bolu bhi ya na bolu. People were making fun of it. One part of it was fun, and I was saying this is not a fun issue. The other part of it was a serious concern. मैं इस हद तक बोलूं, इसे appreciation को अगर आप sexual harassment construe करोगे तो क्या होगा? You know, if I say you're looking very pretty today to a woman, or you're wearing a lovely pink sari, what if, because there is a subjectivity involved in sexual harassment. It is what I think is hostile, right? It is what I think is problematic. अगर ये आप subjectivity पे लेके आओगे, which is a greatness in the law, unlike many other laws, which are like objective kind of thing. This is subjective. I think that is harassment, so you will not do it, right? But the point is, आप किस हद तक subjectivity को लेते हैं? And it happens to a lot of people that, and that becomes a problem. So when you crack stupid gender jokes, I get angry and you don't get angry. So we can't crack jokes. That's what it's come to. So then the workplace becomes very hostile, and I think that law does not take that into cognizance. There is a lack of faith that can cripple an institution. The significant point is how do you assess one claim against another? जब हम internal complaints committee पे ये cases discuss करते हैं, then it becomes a question of claims and counterclaims, right? And witnesses have turned hostile, right? So how will you match his claim against hers becomes especially when it involves two students, especially when it involves two colleagues, when they are horizontally placed. When they are vertically placed, it's easier. आप management को बोल सकते हो, why did you do to a student? आप teacher को बोल सकते हो, but you should have understood because you were a teacher and you shouldn't have done this to the student. You should not even made her that offer. But when they become horizontal, two colleagues, वो कल तक कैंटीन में बैठ के एक साथ चाय पीते थे. Something transpired and she's brought a charge. We don't know when it tripped, when the ball turned. हमें information नहीं है. So how do you assess one claim against another? As I was saying, that there is an atmosphere of mistrust that is growing up. And that is something that we really need to take cognizance of. I don't know where, I think in all organizations, it's as if it's an anti-men law. And yes, we can't explain that it's not anti-men, we are talking about gender equality. But that is how it's construed, that it is anti-men. Oh baap re, ab to kuch bolna hi mushkil. Oh, aap to सारे चीज के ऊपर law बना दिए. Now you can't even crack jokes. Now you can't even do that. What we try and say that most sexual harassment acts are very blatant. इतना subjective है नहीं. बहुत blatant होता है, right? But the problem is that there are certain cases, especially maybe the setup that I work in, जो actually pretty grey hair, right? And when we listen to both parties, it becomes a very, very difficult claim to settle, right? The other is that we talk about increased, जहाँ से शुरू हुआ, we talk about increased reports of sexual harassment, like 2013 में इतने सारे cases आए, बहुत high profile cases आए, and suddenly the media was continuously talking about the positive role of the media. I wouldn't say that this isn't a positive role, but there is a backlash. क्योंकि media इतना report करता है, the understanding is, oh my God, इतना सारे sexual harassment cases हो रहा है, as if पहले नहीं होता था. So what we were trying to say, that पहले भी होता था, पहले nobody talked about it because they were scared of bringing it. Today people are, even if you talk about the Tarun Tejwal, this kind of thing, everybody in the media said कि बहुत सारे ऐसे incidents होते रहते थे, nobody talked about it. Now what should the media do is not to sensationalize those cases. Okay, I just want to talk about the implications of men and women in the workplace. Achha. This is basically what I have gathered from when I started doing the training with several other companies. I started because now all companies are mandated कि आपको एक कमिटी करना है. So suddenly I got this pay 2013 के, and the end of it, please आके training कर. They have no clue, huh? So suddenly everybody was getting trained in sexual harassment, and this is what emerged not only from my university area, but also from where I went and had discussions, did training, listening to media, talking to people. That this is interpreted as an anti-men law, and we have to take cognizance and work on it and explain that that is not the case. Men apprehensive that women might file false complaints. I'll settle a score, reap benefits, act on someone's behest. I have a score to settle against my colleague, so मैं एक student को, I'm using the student to settle a score. Real concerns that have come up from my male colleagues. छोटे-छोटे incidents, but I don't know how to answer them. These incidents are one of my really nice, very soft-spoken kind of a colleague suddenly said, हमारे यहाँ वाइवास, presentations ये सब होते रहते हैं, जो class hours के बाद होता है, evenings में होता है, right? And we generally take these presentations in our own chambers. हमारे जो cubicle है, वहाँ आके we say, okay, आपका presentation या वाइवा देते हैं, so one by one students come and they give their presentation. This colleague of mine immediately said, after there were these two internship cases that happened at a university, अब तो मैं presentations नहीं लूँगा. I said, why? I said, नहीं शाम को कैसे लूँ? What if the students come and sit here? There's no one on campus. There are only 10 students जो lobby पे खड़े हैं, and I call this girl to come and sit and explain something. और अगर वो बाहर जाके कुछ बोले, so I was trying to say, Why should she go and say something against you? One. And then he said, what if one of my colleagues has to settle a score with me? And I said, are you there for, you don't have faith in your students? He said, no, it's not a question of faith. You never know what can happen. मैं ये cubicle में और presentation नहीं दूँगा unless it sounded exactly like the medical professional जहाँ पे if you are doing any checkup on a woman client कहीं किसी और को there has to be. He said exactly sounded like that. Or said we will have it in office hour in open spaces, right? And they said, I said, but there are other students. I mean, नहीं अगर अचानक वो बाहर चिल्ला के घर जाके, you know, she starts saying something. What am I supposed to do? What will I do? So there is this enormous atmosphere of mistrust, scared, you know, that women just might bring cases. And I keep on saying that malicious complaints will not stand. The law, when it works against these women, works very strongly. But apparently this is. I've talked about competing claims. This came in the case, the last question came in the case of this internship case against when one of our interns went and interned with the Supreme Court judge, and there was a problem that had happened, and she filed a complaint after 1 year. And so this 1 year became a huge issue. क्योंकि अगर complaint करना है तो 3 months के within 3 months. Why did she do the complaint after a year? What happened? So the delay became a huge issue. And then of course, we know what repercussions the judge faced. But what came is that there is a permanent loss of reputation. Once a charge of sexual harassment is brought against you, you are doomed. So people will forget all the good things that you have done. People will only remember the worst thing that you have done, right? Permanent loss of reputation. Now we were talking about the accused की चेहरा दिखाना चाहिए. I completely agree that stigmatization women की नहीं. But you know, I got a counter. I'm not speaking for men, but I'm just saying what the counter positions are. They were saying कि accused मतलब charges अभी तक proved नहीं. Why will you take my name? If you're protecting the woman's name, protect my name too. Charges proved. आप मेरा इतना बड़ा तस्वीर बनाओ. But till charges are not proved and public memory is short, public memory is very problematic. आप इनको दिखाओगे, and people will remember him as an accused. People will remember him as if he was, you know, he was implicated in the case. He just might not be. He might be left scot-free, but किसी को ये याद नहीं रहेगा. So people will remember, that Mr. Roy ना, उस केस में फंसा था ना, and that Mr. Roy doesn't want. He doesn't want that permanent loss of reputation. Defamation benefits jobs, which has happened. Implications for women. How are women perceived? What has happened exactly right after 2 NUJS interns brought complaints is a plethora of media reports, and we immediately started talking to High Court judges, Supreme Court judges, and they were saying women interns are many because women are perceived as troublemakers. So the backlash effect is enormous, and because we happen to teach in a university, अगर ये बच्ची internship ना करे तो उनको job नहीं मिलेगा, right? And NUJS से my God, so आपके interns को नहीं लेंगे, my God, they bring charges. नहीं. So women employees, interns not desired. How do you engage with that? You know, and a lot of people who are a little elderly, अपना वर्ल्ड व्यू है, आप जो कह रहे थे ना, यंग भी है, ओल्ड भी है. सो जो यंग लॉयर्स, उनके साथ तो हम नेगोशिएट कर सकते हैं. जो दे आर द वंस हु आर एल्डरली हैव देयर ओन नोशंस, एंड दे से नहीं, हम नहीं लेंगे, आई विल नॉट. So what has happened? The workspace is shrinking for women, especially जो male dominated था, वो और भी male dominated, right? So and then also this point about over sensitive हैं, आप jokes भी नहीं crack कर सकते, आप wine भी offer नहीं कर सकते, आप etc. Now, right, the problem is that if we have to use the law, we will have to do it very clearly. Not tokenism and protectionism. जो मैं जब कंपनीज में जाती हूँ, मैं बोलती हूँ आप प्लीज ये सिर्फ टोकनिज्म के लिए मत करिए. एक कंप्लेंट्स कमेटी खड़ा कर दिया, चलो हो जाए. Everything to the complaints committee. As a sexual harassment cases are only the business of the complaints committee, and it is not the business of the rest of the institution, right? It does not, the institution doesn't own the case. It gives it to the complaints committee. It exactly sounds like, oh, आप women's rights के ऊपर काम करते हो ना, तो आप human rights के काम नहीं करते, आप women's rights करो, हम human rights करेंगे. It's exactly like that. So, you just entrust, oh, complaints committee में जाओ. I didn't listen whether it's a complaints committee case. Take, I'm finished. Okay. So, that is the constitution of the committee, which ma'am already referred to, has to be done with due care and attention. Do not appoint women because they are biologically women. Oh, it's happened to me, my organizer. अच्छा, सबसे elderly woman कौन है? सबसे senior कौन है? That senior woman has worked in business laws, has no clue of gender sensitivity. हाँ, सबसे senior है ना, उनको बना देते. So just by the fact that you are biologically a woman, you get the post and you have no clue what to do, and you can be as blatant in gender cases as men. Okay. What I really feel is it's not a woman's cause. It is a cause of understanding and addressing gender relations in a workplace. What do you mean by correct gender relations? What do you mean by this and no further? आप कितने हद तक जा सकते हैं उसके this and no further? How do you establish that we might have a joking relationship, but that does not mean that you can do certain things too, right? And when women mean no, it means no. Something that I tell my students. Yeah, very good. She went and had coffee with you. She also went and saw a film with you. But that does not mean that she wants to sleep with you. Please figure it out that the two are distinct, okay? And preventive measures are of utmost importance. The problem is that the mandate of the law, we keep on talking about the internal complaints committee के बारे में हम बात करते हैं. But internal complaints committee and the organization's major काम है prevention करना. You have monthly discussions. वो हम not like just putting up two posters, right? You have discussions. You figure these issues out. You talk about this. Don't make it this is a women's rights issue. It's a gender sensitive issue. And try and think of preventive measures instead of just what I call proactive politics में engage करना चाहिए rather than reactive politics. The sexual harassment at workplace law is still in a reactive mode. After the thing has happened, we want to take cognizance. And there's a lot of discussion before the thing happens. Like, सबको पता होता है, ये हो रहा है, अरे, तब लाओ. Then nobody is raising the issue. Once the matter is taken on a serious turn, when you take the issue there, then it becomes far more complicated in handling it. Okay. So what I just wanted to talk about is what implications does it have for people in the workplace, and how are we to negotiate with it, with men, with women, with young people, with older people, to figure out that this is not an anti-men law. And this is typically a backlash reaction whenever any such gender equality laws come in. And the point is, how do you engage with it, especially हमारे लिए when you engage with very young people who are right out of school and come from different backgrounds. What we have done in NUJS is that we now have, again it's reactive, we have started a sexual harassment prevention policy during internships. In the sense that when children go on internships, we tell them कि पूरा process दिया गया है because internship is third party, right? So how do we actually do things during internship? And we say once the student comes back, within 6 months, आप वो complaint lodge करो, and then there's a whole process. I'm not going into it, where we talk to the bar council, where we can send a letter to the CJI or to the law firm, to the internal complaints committee of the law firm, or to the head of the NGO, wherever the student is interning. And we will have a relationship directly with कहाँ पे वो internship कर रहे हैं, at least during internship sexual harassment ताकि ना हो. Our policy during internship sexual harassment की जो policy है वो gender neutral है. So we'll be talking about the implications of that because it is possible, and we've heard things like that. It is not impossible for young boys to be harassed by very senior people that they work with, who are women or could be men. So what we are locating that it is possible for young men also to be harassed by more powerful men and women. And so our internship policy is gender neutral, but we have to talk about its implications because the law definitely isn't. So we are in dissonance with the law, but we are trying to grapple with what it means. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.
we'll open floor for discussion. I just have a question for Ruchira. Ruchira, when we see cases of sexual harassment at workplace, we see this overwhelming sense of lackluster attitude among peers, which could be co-workers, which could be friends, students, right? So my question is that within the ecosystem of the victim, where do we see support coming? Because in a workplace, for example, the co-workers would be like, oh, I'll be fired if I stand with the woman. And among students, they'll be like, I'll be, detained or rusticated if I stand in support of the woman. So within the ecosystem of the victim, where do you see support coming?
I think that's why people insisting very strongly about the preventive role of the committee. So if you once a case has already happened, then to build that atmosphere of care and protection and trust becomes far more difficult than if you start it ahead. So you know that you have a policy. So from now start working towards that. And we have seen that, students who have, very simple, students who have taken gender rights courses, etc., are far more sensitive than students who haven't, right? So in that sense, I think you can build an atmosphere, and then, a lot of students come and then start talking to one of the teachers. And then if the teacher or anyone in the administration, and then the teacher starts saying, they all koi hai jo, can support you. And the student brings two more students. And then they become a sort of, it's a very small group which has to stand against the storm. But it is possible, or जो होता है जब students, especially when students see that some senior people in the organization are supporting and can tell them that you have nothing to fear. That is something that we continuously have to tell witnesses, etc. That nothing is going to come against you. It's my responsibility that you will not be, there will be nothing, vindictive behavior coming out. There will be no backlash. Then I think you start building up an atmosphere of support. But it starts with only 2-3 people, etc.
Especially within a workplace, there would be a prevalent attitude of boys will be boys. Ye to apna ladka hai. This is our founder. This is our this person had an influential role in the organization.
Absolutely.
So that politics plays into creating a fortress around the culprit itself.
Absolutely.
And protecting him from.
Absolutely. The only logic I think is building this counter politics that one can, but it's very uphill. But boys will be boys. He's this great man in the organization. He can do no wrong. No, it just depends if you have a lot more stronger group, a counter group, which has happened actually. Then I think those things have a counter of the hands.
Actually, I just want to compliment what Salina was saying, and I'll also just share one of my experience actually. I was just coming from a consultation, and one of the senior retired Supreme Court judge. We were talking about trafficking. We were talking about how it affects women and how it is how the issue is very, very badly affecting women and what needs to be done and things like that. The entire consultation, entire sessions were over. Everything happened. He makes a comment saying that in our times, when a boy and a girl meet, even if a hand kind of touches, electricity used to come between us. But now nothing happens, even wherever the body parts touch. This is a senior retired Supreme Court judge talking, and so it is the woman who has to be more restrained, more dressed properly, and this was the comment. And you know what? As soon as he said that, the entire group, which was consisting of young lawyers, mostly men, all started clapping like anything, and a district prosecutor who is actually dealing with sexual assault cases immediately rises up and says, "Sir, this was such a serious discussion and I didn't want to take it out of the perspective, but since you've said it, I feel emboldened to saying that there are so many cases which I'm dealing with which are false cases where in domestic violence issues, mothers are telling the children to accuse the father of sexual harassment.